Welcome to the Must Love Yarncast.
Here we are.
Sunday.
It's summer.
Happy summer. It's
Day
June
2.
23rd.
Day 3.
Yeah.
I don't remember what day it was, but...
Yeah, 20th, 21st, somewhere in there.
Friday,
22nd. So happy summer. So here we are.
Feels a whole lot like spring.
Right? Exactly. This is a Yarncast where we talk about yarn and knitting and actually crocheting this time. You can believe that. I know, right? I did it. Guys, I did the thing. That we bring
Thank God for Knit in Public Day.
Right.
When Angela was crocheting.
Well, yes, there's that. There's stories involved, and I'm at a spot where I have to come back and get some more help because I'm like, I don't understand what this pattern means. But anyway, so we are here at our yarn shop in Shelburne, Vermont, Must Love Yarn, where you can find most of the stuff we're going to show you today. Most of it. Some things not so much. Most of the stuff I'm working on right now is yarn from the store.
Yeah.
And you can find the store out on social media as Must Love Yarn. Definitely most active on Ravelry, Facebook, YouTube, right? Instagram is where to find most of the good stuff. I'm sure things get pushed out to some other platforms, but I have no idea.
Maybe. We don't do it intentionally, so if it does happen,
if it does happen, hurrah. If not, that's the way it goes.
That's right.
And I'm Angela.
I'm Jen.
And you can find me out on social media, Instagram and Ravelry as Junior Bird Kid.
And you can find me on Instagram. Which one is that? Jennifer_Arbuckle, and Ravelry is J Arbuckle.
Yep. And I feel like the sock knitting at baseball games has just really become like a joke at this point. Like, and to the point where I show up and even if I don't have my knitting out, like parents are like, what are you working on now?
Yeah.
So
that's how it is at that conference that I just went to in Chicago. Yeah. Like more people come over to talk to me. It's like a strategy for getting people to talk to me, I think.
So anyway, so that's a backwards way of saying that's my personal page. So you'll see other stuff there.
Mm-hmm. You will.
So lately, lots of socks at baseball games. That's what's filling my feed.
Yeah.
These days. So, but anyway, we like to start our podcast, Yarncast, with our pick of the week. And so the way this works is we're going to show you some yarn and we're going to talk about it, and then we'll give you a coupon code. And for 2 weeks from the airing of the podcast, you can get 10% off in-store and online. Sorry, I just got a little distracted. Both of my kids are here today, and one just walked behind the camera.
Which is good because he turned the lights back on.
He turned the lights back on, but I'm not really sure what he's doing, so it's fine. But it's fine. Can't get into too much trouble here. He already vacuumed for us, which was amazing. So put him to work, and now I owe him some money. But that's fine. It's totally fine. So we're just going to give the date. So it would be June 28th. Through July 12th, that coupon code will be good for.
July 12th.
July 12th. I know it'll already take us into July, right?
But I'll be on vacation then, so there you go.
So keeping with our It's Summer theme, we brought over another cotton yarn that we haven't, that we haven't shown for a while. So this is the Ella Rae Eco Organic Cotton. So this is a pure really certified organic cotton. And if you guys haven't felt some of this new cotton yarn, this is not
really soft. Yeah.
Your mom's cotton or your grandma's cotton.
It's not the sugar and cream cotton, in all honesty.
It's not
twine.
This cotton is really amazing to work with, whether you're crocheting or knitting.
Yeah.
Like it almost feels more like wool.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the give of wool, but it's definitely not as hard on your hands as a lot of that.
And I think
cotton.
For tops and things like that, it's really has a much nicer feel and drape to it. And there's nothing wrong with sugar and cream cotton, don't get me wrong.
No.
I've used it a number of times for home goods projects and all kinds of other things. It's great.
The stuff is really delightful to work with.
Yeah.
So these are 100-gram skeins, 273 yards. So it's a DK weight yarn. We have a number of great colors, and this is $12.99 a skein, so it's really pretty affordable, particularly given the organic cotton and that it's just really nice to work with.
Yeah.
So
They have a
recommended
ton of great colors.
needle size of 3 to 5 or crochet of USE 4 to 7.
So many great colors. And
many great
as we were
colors.
picking them out, this looks kind of green on the screen, but it's
like a gray,
it's like this
blue.
amazing, one of my colors. It's sort of a grayish, bluish, greenish, slate kind of color. So anyway, I was saying to Ange as we pulled this out, I was like, oh, look at this pretty color. And then I was like, no,
put it back.
Must
And I mean,
finish
this
other things.
like would pair really nicely. We've shown before the Marmel, and like with some little color work or stripes, or you could really do some fun stuff with some of these. And I do not need any more yarn. I was just complaining yesterday that I have too much yarn as I was cleaning out some of my hidey holes and trying to why do I have all these random little pieces of yarn and what am I going to do with this?
Yeah.
The last thing I need is more yarn.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
finish things first. But for those of you that are done and are looking for a new project, I can highly recommend this color.
Yeah, or any of those colors. They're they're beautiful. And so I think.
Right. And in case you're wondering, for those on the screen.
Oh yeah, what the color is called?
There's no name.
Slate.
It is called slate.
It's called slate.
Funny. Color number 44.
Slate.
Shockingly, slate.
But I mean, that's a really nice blue
and
too.
if you like this sort of acid green, this is
This
beautiful.
is actually, it's showing much brighter on the screen. This is
I was gonna say,
definitely a little
so is
more of a
this.
subtle, not as neon-y.
This is
but
like a nice apple green.
yeah, it's nice.
Limeade, it's called.
And this one's called Wedgwood,
Yeah.
which the description is that's definitely the Wedgwood blue.
Yeah.
So let's do YP Sizzle, since we've been talking all about summer and how hot it's been here, and you want a cotton top or a cotton market bag or whatever. So YP Sizzle for that coupon code.
Okay.
So for 2 weeks you get 10% off.
Jump
Enjoy.
in there.
Have fun.
Right.
Knit something pretty.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So what you're wearing?
I am wearing the sweater that I was working on last summer. That I finally, it's been done for a while, but I finally washed it and finished. The weaving in of ends on a cotton top are always kind of a struggle because you always feel like they're just going to wiggle their way out. So I thought about it for a while, but this is called Cicadae, Cicadae. It's an Alicia Plummer pattern that she released last summer, and it's just kind of a big drapey, little bit of lace. And so this was knit in Araucania Yarns Wasco Cotton Kettle Dyes, so it's just a natural white color, and I think it's held double if I'm not mistaken in the pattern. So it's like a great sort of basic drapey top. So as I was saying to Ange, it's very drapey, so I'm getting used to the drape of it and whether I want to, hold it closed or not or whatever. So so we'll see.
Nice.
It's good. I'm glad it's done. It's been sitting on my table for months underneath other things because I think I finished it in the fall and it was not really the right temperature for it. And I was going through something the other day and I was like, oh, look at this. Let's pull this out.
Wear that. It's the right time of year for it.
That's right.
So I pulled out my Rocket tee. So this is I think it's a Tanis LaValle pattern. The original pattern calls to stripe fingering with a mohair, and I was like, for a summer top, no thank you. So I just used 2 fingering weight yarns to stripe. It works just as well. I like the variegated and the solid together.
Yeah.
You can, for the most part, most sizes, 1 skein of fingering weight of each color is more than enough to knit this little tee. I really like the I-cord details for finishing.
Clean.
It wears really nice. I think I made mine longer than what the pattern called for just because I prefer a little more, not crop tops are not do not fit my body shape that well.
My middle is not fond of crop tops.
No, so but it's it's got like a nice little eyelet detail on the side. Like it's just a really fun shirt. I think this yarn is some Gail's art. She's not dyeing yarn anymore, but it's like one of her silk merino blends that she was doing. So it's got like a nice little shine to it. That's a great like lightweight little summery top for when it's warm out.
Yeah.
I threw a tank on underneath because it's like the temperature's weird today. Like,
yeah.
Just for a little more warmth.
Yeah. Well, when the wind is blowing, it got chillier.
But it doesn't really need it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so it's a great if you're looking for ideas for things. I feel like it was a quick knit.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
It's
take
also
me that
great
long.
for you could just wear it for fun, but you could also wear it in the office or something. It
Yeah,
has a nice
no, you
sort of
totally could. It's
clean
professional
finish.
enough that you could wear this to work.
Yeah.
It's not just like a weekend only kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yep.
Nice.
Yeah. So finished. Do you have any finished objects?
No. You would think 3 weeks later that maybe, but as we
only
mentioned in the
have one.
outtakes, it was very, very hot last week, so there was like zero knitting. There was just no way, even with a fan blowing on me. I basically was like, read the book. That's it. Do not move.
I was
do nothing else.
crocheting during that weather because I found that I could do that with the cotton.
Yeah, I
yarn.
could have been, I guess, but I also had a weird week where I was working late a couple nights. I had a weird planning zoning call that I had to be on, but I didn't have to be in Cleveland, so I can't complain about that. But still, and it allowed me to stay in the AC for an extra hour or two one evening and Tuesday. So.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I did finish a pair of socks. So these have been
so
like
pretty.
the
I love those
travel
colors.
little baseball socks that I've been working on. I did have to re-knit the toe in the second one because I was just this is the thing, guys. I don't always pay attention, and I think in my head I know which stripe I need to start the decreases on, and I thought wrong. And I realized it once. I almost cut the yarn to close up the toe, and I was like, you should probably look at that. So I'd started the toe too soon. So one sock was a lot shorter than the other sock, like noticeably shorter. Like if it was just a little bit, I would have been like, oh, that's fine. Like it would not have fit kind of shorter. So there they are. Great, just
They're awesome.
Little shorty cuffs. This is Woolens and Nosh yarn. It's one of her club colorways. It's spring peepers. So it's like a
great
spring
set of colors. Yeah.
color. This is just a vanilla sock pattern. Decided to use the counter skein for the heel flap to keep the striping pattern going on the front. Sometimes I just go and then have the broken pattern, but that's the complete pattern on the front for two of these. Afterthought heels are another option for this kind of yarn. I don't find they fit my foot as well, or I have not yet found the Afterthought heel that fits my heel as well as the traditional heel flap and gusset. So this works. This keeps the color striping sequence and is not just, there's a few more ends to weave in at the end around the heel, but that's it.
Well, if you were doing an afterthought, you would have extra ends too, right?
Right, but the other option is just to
if you
deal
just
knit it with and have the stripes on the heel flap, and then got a weird striping sequence on the top of the foot.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I just was thinking that if you're changing colors anyway,
Might as well knit what feels comfortable on your foot.
Yeah.
So these are done, which means there's another sock on the needles at this point.
Coming up in the whip
section. So this one's done, and now I have like a weird amount of yarn left over because the short socks don't quite So I could maybe knit another pair of short socks or save it for something.
It's probably not because you have this much here, right?
I'd have to weigh this skein to see
if there's enough left.
If there's enough for a second pair.
Yeah.
There might be. It's possible.
Yeah.
Could make a large peds out of it.
One that has a shorter.
Yeah, with a shorter
leg.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my one.
Okay.
FO for 3 weeks. I feel like, wow, but there's been a lot of other stuff happening over here.
End of the school year.
And
stuff.
Many days where there was not an opportunity to knit or crochet, which is very frustrating for me, but
Yeah.
it's fine. It's the way it goes.
Probably explains my mood lately.
Yeah, totally. So what do you got going?
They're all whips.
Okay, cool.
So sadly, we'll do this one first since we've been talking about the weather. Sadly, this is my May square. So I am like, I don't know, 5 or 6 days, and as you can tell, I'm at the part where it's smaller. So I thought to myself, at the very least, I should be able to finish this before we do this yarn cast again. And then I sort of lost track of where we were when we were doing it. And
Right.
as I've mentioned, there was very little knitting, but you can see the 190-degree day got in there. So the June one is going to be very pink.
Yeah.
But and so obviously I need to do a little catch up here. And you would think this is like the perfect thing to knit in the hot weathers, and it probably would be, but it's also coincided with what am I watching on TV? There's like nothing to watch right now, so I've been doing a lot more reading, and I can't.
Well,
I've not mastered the read and knit like other people have.
If you have Netflix, the season 3 of Bridgerton's all the way out now.
Yeah,
That
I don't
was
have
fun
Netflix.
watch.
I've always there's stuff for me to watch. I just have to like go organize my brain to find it and set it up.
Right.
It's not like all my network series where I'm like, oh, they've been
Right.
set up for me. I just have to push a button and they'll stream. So anyway, that's so there's been a little bit less knitting in the evenings.
Yep.
And I have been traveling, so I did quite a bit of knitting on this other web also, which is
Nice.
where all the time went. But
So I have some progress on my 3 seasons
so pretty.
cardigan.
Beautiful.
So I have both front panels are done. Let me see if I can turn this around without the back panel was already done, but
Now you can see it.
Now you can see it.
It's beautiful.
Um,
That yarn is perfect for that sweater.
it is. Not, I mean, when you, sometimes you see these patterns and you're like, I have to knit it with the actual.
Because the sheen on the yarn picks up all the,
Yeah.
like the highlights all the texture.
So I finally wove in all the ends because there was a lot of them and they were kind of dangling around. So next is you have to pick up for the collar, and then the sleeves are set in, I think. So you do the sleeves and then seam the sleeve and the side. So one, it was too hot to have
Because you're going to be having a
sweater
big sweater sitting in your lap.
sitting
now.
in my lap. So I'm maybe able to pick up the collar now. That's cooled off a little bit. So
Yeah,
that's the next
tonight,
phase.
before it gets hot
Right.
again.
Well, and it's finding the right time with the right light. This
Yeah.
is a darker yarn,
Yeah.
and I need to be able to see to pick it up. Once I get it on the needle, it's fine. But
Yeah, for me, that's like a
during the
Saturday or a
afternoon.
Sunday morning kind of thing where
Yeah.
I might not be interrupted, and
Right,
it
and your
feels like
eyes aren't
I'm ready to
tired
start,
and-
rather
Yeah.
than I spent a whole day doing anything or working all day and looking at a screen, and I'm just not. I need
Right,
something
tired
easy.
eyes.
Yeah.
So this one's still I'm trucking along with it.
Beautiful.
Thank you. The cabling has been really fun. I forgot how much fun it is to cable.
The texture,
Kind of
yes,
fun.
watching the texture unfold.
Yeah,
is-
it's just super cool.
And that one is really such a lovely pattern.
Yeah. And the sleeves are all in too. So it's like, so it'll be good. So
Yeah.
maybe when we get back next time, that one will be more closer to done or done. I always forget how long sleeves take.
Yeah.
I feel
You still
like,
have like as much knitting as you have
I
hanging up
know,
there, if
right?
not more.
yeah. And the collar takes a lot too. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Is it a shawl kind of color?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Yeah, so it's
is,
more.
I
yeah.
think. No, actually, is it?
Well, even so, just doing the bands and everything, it just.
Did I grab the pattern? With me? I don't know. Let's look. No, it's not a shawl collar. It's but yeah, just picking up the bands. No, it's a flat collar. So that's less. It's just, once it gets
It's
picked
wet.
up, it's just like
Damn.
an inch or two of ribbing. So the collar should go pretty quickly. But the sleeves will take some time. So
Because there's two of them.
yes, and they were patterned.
And they're more
cabled.
than. I mean, really, you think, oh, they're just like two fronts, but they're really
not. They're
twice,
bigger than that.
Because you have to go around. So
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
like
I know.
twice. Yeah.
I know. Yep.
Yeah.
Yippers. Yay.
Yeah. All right. So my Stella tank, which will sort of look like this, but not exactly. I'm getting to the point where I have to decide. So last time I think I had like the bottom inch or so done, but quite a bit has been accomplished since then.
Nice.
So I did a lot of knitting while I was at my conference last week. And
Awesome.
I mean, honestly, I don't think I had any color on it. I think I was down on the white somewhere. So you can see. It was actually perfect to bring because there's one row of knit and one row of pattern. So it just keeps going and going and going. And it decreases because it's very wide at the bottom and then it decreases up. So I am like an inch and a half from the armholes, apparently. Which, I don't know. I guess maybe that's about right. Yeah. At which point I have to decide whether I'm doing armhole shaping or not, or whether I'm just going to split. And then when I split it, I have to decide how to handle the yarn because I will.
Because you have to keep this zigzag, so you almost.
Well, that part's fine. It's the color more than anything else
Right.
because it's knit from one of these guys.
Right.
So I will have to do like the front and then the back and then the front and then the back and then the front and then the back in order on each stripe in order to, because I'll have to split the yarn for each stripe.
Yeah.
So that could be annoying. I was thinking to myself, can you steek cotton? You probably can. I was debating. Whether I would do that. I'm going to do a little research maybe because that would certainly be easier. So in the pattern, it's easy because
you're using different.
They're all different skeins of yarn. But so when you set yourself up for something, you have to do a little thinking. So, and if I have to do it and just weave in the ends, it's not a big deal because I know how big each stripe is at that point. So it'll be easy because I'll just go till I have the full color, and then I should have the other half to do the back. So it'll just be a pain in terms of ends. But
yeah.
So
the way it goes.
Right. Yeah, it's fine. So I have been pretty motivated on it, and I have been enjoying knitting it, and it's nice to see the colors unfold. So, and I'm happy with the way it looks. So
awesome.
Yeah, it'll be. That is pretty motivating. So if not before, I imagine by the time I get back from vacation in July, that'll be done because
awesome.
I'll probably take it with me to finish. And then I just have to decide. I think probably I'm going to try to make this more of a V-neck. So that'll be even more annoying because I'll have
two sides of things to weave in.
So maybe not. We'll see. You will find out when I get there.
So I did the thing.
Mm-hmm.
The crochet thing. And it's going. I've made some pretty good progress.
Mm-hmm.
That's the back. So
yeah, you're at the sleeve.
I'm at the sleeves.
Mm-hmm. It's nice that we're going in opposite
directions.
directions.
Right, we're going in opposite directions.
Look at that. Look you go.
I know, right?
Yeah.
This is actually, I feel like a really good project.
Increasing and decreasing.
To start with this yarn, even though I was a little perturbed at how small the crochet hook was, and I was like, "What? Is this a good idea?" But it's oodles and oodles of just practicing crocheting, and it is mostly double crochet, but it's that muscle memory, and so I'm finding that I am getting faster because it's just I'm practicing and I'm getting my tension down and I'm getting how to hold the yarn. And the yarn is such that it's easier to see where the hook needs to go and like which stitch you need to go into. I had a couple little mess ups with regards to that, but I'm just rolling with it. It's fine. But I'm at a point in the pattern where I don't actually understand what the pattern wants me to do.
You have to come in and figure out when Maddie's working this week.
I understand where I'm at because it's time to like break the yarn off and knit just around the body to make the armholes. Right. But because it's a crochet pattern, I know how I would do it if I was knitting.
Yes.
But the one thing that I've found with this pattern is it's made some assumptions that the person who's doing this has some basic understanding of how crochet patterns work, which I do not.
Right.
So it's not the sort of step-by-step. It just assumes that when it says certain things like that computes in your head. And I'm just like, I don't understand what it's asking me to do here.
Look at these weird symbols. What do these mean?
Right? So I need to come in and get some help and just be like, well, what am I supposed to do here? And I'm sure it's really simple. And I'm sure when I am shown what that is, I'm going to be like, of course that's what
But this is like the
do.
first thing that you've made that isn't like a square, so
Right.
it's like a real garment that has garment shaping. So that's been the issue for me with crochet. Like there's some beautiful crochet things, but the patterns, which I want to make as they're flowers or they look really interesting, but it's like I just don't have the energy to learn a different language right now, which is what it is.
And the language part's fine. It's not computing in my brain.
I know weird diagrams that look like, I don't know.
So I'm sure it's something really easy but anyway, so this one's kind of on ice till I can get into or Google something to be like, what does this mean? I think it needs a human
Maddie
explanation.
can probably get you going in like 15 minutes.
Less than that is my guess. So I'm making good progress and I'm doing the crochet thing, guys.
Yeah.
So truck it along.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I guess it is the same. Wait, that's weird. I thought I was reversing the colors, but
I reversed the colors I
because
started.
I'm not pulling from the inside of the cake. I'm pulling from the outside of the cake.
I am pulling from the inside because I wanted these colors that I love the most to be up near my face instead of the other way around. Because I'm going and I don't dislike these colors. I just don't. I'd rather have the other.
Right,
colors
ours are going.
We'll have the same
in two
color.
different directions, but the colors are the same.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Yeah.
As I agree, I wanted these colors up by my face. So anyway, there we are with the crocheted
rainbow cake. You too can have a rainbow in your life.
You too could crochet
or knit. When I make the modifications to this pattern, I will put them in my Ravelry page. So
cool.
Anyone who wants to can sort of
so
do
this
the same.
this is Eleanor. This is a pattern by Queensland Collection that was designed for this skein of yarn. So again, using the yarn that the pattern calls for.
And I should mention too, I think I mentioned this last time, that I added, because I think I'm going to need more yarn than just the rainbow cake because of it's like an A-line shape and it's, and there's a little bit more to that, I guess. Anyway, I have an extra skein of the cream color that I bought, which is just the Coastal Cotton Fine. So it's a tiny bit heavier because this is like a heavy fingering and this is like a light fingering, I guess. I don't really know. They're off a little bit. You can sort of feel it, but this will just be for like the neckline.
The edging,
it might just be
if
I end up putting little cap sleeves on, which is also an option. So I might just knit it straight up without shaping for the armholes, because then that would give me like a little...
Yeah, you could do like a little cap sleeve.
Well, it'll make one because it'll, instead of being, tapered in, it'll just be...
do what this one does, kind of.
A little bit. Yeah. It would be a very wide band here rather than the skinnier one. So,
also
I have to look at
Yeah.
That won't solve the ends issue, but it will.
So that this one's had pulled a lot of time. There's a lot of hours into this thing because
because it's also experimenting and figuring it out.
It's crochet and it's a new skill set. So
right, in theory goes faster, but only once you've put a lot of time into it already to understand it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and I was starting to get my rhythm down.
Your groove, and now you have to change.
So if I had not been here to get this project started, to have help at the counter to be like, hey, I'm doing this right, I would have like just thrown this across the room out of the gate, because it was just, I was like, but did it, and really after the first couple rows it was fine and things started to like make a lot more sense, and you were like, oh, I see what's happening here. So stick with it. It's my takeaway. If you're trying to do things,
or if you need help, just
ask.
Just come and talk to us, and if it takes more than a couple minutes at the counter, then set up a private appointment. We have people
too.
who can do knit or crochet
Yeah.
or whatever. If you get to a sticking point and something's just not making sense, a couple of times we've done private appointments and started to explain things, and people are like, oh,
Right.
I don't know why I couldn't understand that. And I was like, I've been there.
Yeah.
I've read something 23 times
Like,
and
I
not
don't
understood
even
it.
understand
And then
what
I've
this
spoken to
means.
someone, and on the 24th time, all of a sudden,
Boop.
it just rotates in my
Yeah.
brain. Yeah.
Totally.
So never hesitate. We're always happy to help people.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
and the
so
quick ones are free. If it
Right.
takes a little bit longer, we'd have to
charge for
charge a
fun.
little bit. But yeah.
So I cast on another sock.
No, you did, of course.
Of course I did.
You need to.
So
what else are you going to bring with you?
so remember this yarn that I was like, I'm not gonna buy it, and then I bought it.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was like, I better use it. So this
Is it dark on the inside?
it is dark on the inside.
Interesting. It's got like big.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's an ombre and a
Yep.
stripe. I just
ombre
saw that.
and stripe.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm making
Pretty.
the large ped. Sorry, my needles are doing really weird things because I'm decreasing
heels.
for the gusset on the heel.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stitches on the back, But so this is large peds. That's the Laura Nelkin
Mm-hmm.
pattern. We're doing it along for that.
Oh, interesting.
It's got a double brim, double cuff.
fold over. Is it a fold over?
It is a
It's on
fold
the
over.
pattern, so I won't.
Yep, it's a fold over.
Mm-hmm.
Some interesting technique things in this, but it's a shorty sock
Yeah.
pattern. I thought it would be interesting to see what this yarn does. So this is twin sock. So when I get done with this one, I'm gonna have to pull out the yarn till I get to the next repeat. So it has like the two repeat things in the yarn itself.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah.
I was going to say, wait, it's going to ombre out. You won't get the right color.
No,
but,
nope. I just have to.
But
find,
because you're not making a big pair of socks,
Right.
you're going to have to pull
I'm
out
gonna have
more.
to pull out a whole bunch, I think, to find where it starts again.
Yeah.
Unless I was supposed to knit these two at a time, that could also be a problem. That could be the thing.
No,
that it
because
was-
see, there's that.
yeah,
Dark,
the dark starts again. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
in there.
Yep. I just have to find it. And really, if I was thinking ahead, I would have wound off and split the ball to begin with, but that would required some planning and thinking ahead versus.
One way versus the other way, 6 to
Right.
1, half dozen to the other. So.
Yep. So anyway, so it's my little in progress large peds. Which
The only
is
question
my
is
new-
whether you wanted the darker ones versus the lighter ones, right?
I guess I'm in the dark
you're-
one.
You probably have enough to do both.
I might be able to do a pair in both. So we'll
Yeah.
see. Because this is our true really short sock. Not a lot of the cuff. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like those kind of socks, so I might even.
I do too. Like I have a bunch
Might be
of
the
darn tough
might
that
be vacation knitting socks.
are that style. Because it fits your foot, and with it
Yeah.
coming up a little higher in the back, it
Yeah, I
keeps
don't-
your shoe from rubbing.
I don't like
and
those ones that are
slip
you know
down
the
in
ones
your-
that hide because
Yeah.
then they automatically
They slide down.
are in the arch of my foot rather
Yep.
than around my ankle.
Yep.
Where I prefer them to be. Yeah.
I had hoped to work some more on my gnome.
Oh, the gnome.
My gnome.
I thought to myself, look, that's a perfect project for when it's 1,000 degrees out.
Yep.
But nope, I did not pick up any needles.
I found my little bag of stuffing.
Oh, that's good.
It was upstairs, stuffed
Right
in a
next to where
project
you
bag,
were.
Right. But the time that I was going to work on that, I ended up having to reknit the toe of this other.
Well,
sock
yeah,
to
and plus
finish.
you think, oh, it's small and fiddly, I can bring it with me, but the
You
fiddly
can't.
is the
The
part.
yeah, it's fiddly.
Small
you
is
have
one
to
thing.
like read the pattern. Anyway, so I didn't do anything with the gnome.
Yeah.
So
My little gnome is languishing in balls right now still. So,
Yeah.
But I was very focused. And plus, I only wanted to bring one thing with me last week, of course. And I was really pretty focused on that top. So
yep.
before I left, though, I did put a little bit more, I think, on the Ranunculus remake.
Oh, nice.
So maybe not. I can't quite remember. But I'm very close to getting to the bottom to do the bottom band. And then I'll just have to come and fix the sleeve, which is stabilized, but it still has a hole in it because I haven't taken that out yet. So
Nice.
it's another good mindless one, but
Yeah.
I need to just get that done because that's a good summer evening sweater when things get
Yeah.
in the evenings. So yeah, and there's so many things I want to knit. But I gotta finish some things
Yeah.
like these things.
I want
Yes.
this to be my squirrel, and when I press that,
Okay. I can't help you with that right now. Okay. Maybe see if William can help you, or you have to find something else to do. Sorry. Okay, both my kids are here.
They're very quiet.
They're both on devices.
They're probably like, we're going to come with you every week when you do this.
Abigail for sure, because she gets to play on an iPad.
Yeah.
So I don't know if folks saw, but Will and Pine released a sea glass cardigan yesterday maybe, or the day before, like very recently.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It is beautiful.
I have already bought the pattern. I'm already trying to figure out what I have in stash already to knit that out of. But it's, I think as Jen says, it looks like it solves some of the issues or things that people have complained about related to the sea glass tee.
Yeah, you sort of know when you're knitting the t-shirt that you're going to have a lot of ends to weave in. And, they had the sort of magic knot thing, which we've talked about before. I chose to do a different thing, which actually worked fine, but I still had to weave in, some of the, I mean, I wove them in as I went because of the way I knit them together, but they kind of pull out a little bit, so anyway, it's fine. But I was eyeballing this. It's a beautiful shape, the cardigan.
Yeah, it's a nice shawl collar on it.
I was kind of thinking that I would, if I did it, I would do it not out of scraps, because I knit up a lot of my scraps when I did the sea glass tee, but I would do it out of like 3 or 4 skeins that are, that I would alternate. Yeah.
So the cardigan is a DK weight.
Oh, it is.
DK
okay.
or holding fingering double.
Oh my god!
So,
right.
Yeah, so it's different weight of yarn.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is fine.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So I was like, totally did the squirrel thing and was distracted. As soon as I saw that, I was like, no, this to finish. You've got that to finish. You've just put a pin in it, buy it, so you can think about it. And then figure out. I mean, I've got all that like Feederbrook Farm yarn, which would be beautiful on something like that.
Yeah.
So.
And it changes colors, so you get the effect that you're not as many ends.
Right.
Because you're just alternating rows or whatever. But it will be interesting. Anyway, there's some interesting techniques in there that I thought were really beautifully done and nicely thought out. So. Yeah. I just glanced at it. I haven't really looked at it. I haven't bought the pattern yet, but I probably will this weekend.
So I also...
Because I think it's, by the time this posts, it'll be done. But
there was a sale. It's on sale right now.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So hopefully all of you have seen it and you know what we're talking about. Right. And you got the sale price. Yes. If not, their patterns are really well done anyway. Yeah. And I really loved the meditative thing of, I love the pattern that it makes, the way it looks when it's knit. So anyway...
So I see that in the future. That might be a fun one to start like later in the summer, like leading up to Rhinebeck, like August, September-ish for Rhinebeck, to do it as an along. Yeah. If people want, like I think, let me just make a little note. And this, we give people some time, like if we started it like the beginning of August.
They have so many beautiful patterns.
No, I know.
As we were talking about it, I was just thinking of, some of their other patterns are on my list of things to knit as well. Sorrel and the would be one where the color is sort of woven in across the top. It's really pretty.
Yeah. So I think, let's look to get that one together sort of later in the summer as an along. This will give you some time to like pull yarn together and think about what you want to do and check out the pattern. Like I think that would be a really fun one. And a fun sweater to have like if you're going to Rhinebeck or fall festivals. Yeah. For
we can all take a big picture together at Rhinebeck.
Yeah. Let's do it. I'm in. Any excuse to knit another sweater and use up some stash. Though, I won't use stash. I'll get some harebrained and be in here.
Well, I will say the beautiful thing about using all the stash is that it was great. I mean, I used up a lot of stuff on that other one. So that was really good. And you know, that confetti sort of effect that you get with all the different colors is amazing. I mean, it's really, so that's the benefit. The other ones that are a little bit more orchestrated, you know, where you can tell that's like 4 or 5 colors and not 25 colors.
Yeah. But that's the cool
also
thing
beautiful, just different
about that sweater and those patterns. So.
Yeah.
So anyway, so check that out. I'll link it in show notes if you haven't seen it or want to have an easy way to get to it. But we'll plan to do an along for that later in the summer. So upcoming here at the store, we've got the Great Northern Yarn Haul, which is starting July 5th.
Yeah, so I can talk a little bit about that. Yep. I think everything is pretty much ready to go. We've had some great prizes donated by our various manufacturers. So Barocco and Rowan and KFI and Cascade have all sent nice packages and prizes that are in the back room as we speak.
Fun.
So we're just pulling the last bits of details together, which I'll probably be done with by the end of the weekend. But we've been posting, but now we need to really post about it and get people excited because it's coming up in a couple weeks. It is running a little bit longer, so it runs from July 5th through August 3rd, I want to say, or 4th.
Okay.
August 4th. So I think we added a week to it, which effectively adds 2 weekends, maybe.
Yeah,
I'm not
I think
quite
so,
sure.
yeah.
So
Yep.
starts on a Friday, ends on a Sunday. But there are prizes. Each store, you know, will do something for the people that visit their stores, and then there's some overall prizes if you visit a certain number of stores. So some fun stuff back there. So some really great prizes, actually. So
awesome.
Yeah,
that'll be fun. And we have on the schedule for that first Saturday, so July 6th. We have a couple of pop-ups happening in the store. So Heidi from Dirty Girl Yarns will be here with her beautiful yarn and roving, and she's got all kinds of fun. Sorry, the mannequin's like hiding all of that stuff right now. So
I just picked one. I couldn't even see it.
I know.
The color of it. So
super fun. And then we have a local sort of bag maker, Stitched by JB, who will also be here as a pop-up. She does a lot of like reclaimed fabrics, so repurposing fabrics that she from like clothes or like other things that she takes apart and then, you know, uses that to create sort of something new.
Awesome.
So more of like an upcycling kind of situation, repurposing and reusing. So I'm excited to see her stuff. So they'll both be here July 6th. The pop-up's going to run from like 11 a.m. to roughly 2 p.m. We always tell our pop-up folks, like, if there's still people here and it's hopping and you want to stay, like, the store closes at 5, so you can stay the whole afternoon, but we don't have the expectation that you'll be here all day. So I, plan 11 to 2. Possibly if you show up after 2, people might still be here, but I wouldn't count on it. So if you want to see the things.
Most times people are places to be, and they are not. I mean, Heidi in particular doesn't live here in town, so she lives a couple hours away from us.
So she'd probably want to pack up and go.
And it's 4th of July weekend too, so there'll be people visiting, which is great.
Amazing.
Lots of fun stuff going on that weekend here in town.
So that stuff's going on. I think we're still trying to get some other pop-ups during that time with some of our other vendors, particularly some of our new consignment yarn providers, because that's always fun. So, just keep an eye on social media for that stuff, but come see us and come see what's going on during the yarn haul and visit, the other shops. Like this, the shops depend on people coming in to support them. And, we appreciate everyone who does.
Absolutely. And we had a small group here for Worldwide Knit and Public Day. It was a very rainy day.
Oh, it was so weird.
So it was a little bit quieter than it might normally have been, but it was fun. We had a good time. We did have
fun. I got that crochet top started and underway.
That's right.
To a point where I figured I could manage going forward.
Right.
So that was fun.
And we saw lots of posts about people knitting in public.
Which was awesome. We do have that Craft in Public along I need to create a spreadsheet for that because of all the different roles and double entries and things, which I've not had a chance to do. So don't worry, we have not forgotten about that. We'll just deal with prizes for that one the next time because I have not had a chance to make the spreadsheet yet. So, sorry, but we'll get to it.
You know how this works.
Yeah, we haven't forgotten.
Time permitting is how this works generally,
Right.
Unfortunately.
Right. So that
For
one, we still have some prize to pull for that one. But that one is over. We do have prizes to pull for both the Winter Thaw Top Along and for the Gnome Along. So let's start with the Gnome Along because I got that one teed up already.
Okay.
So I did go into my stash, and remember how I said I had like 2 other kits that I had bought for gnomes? I found them. So I'm offering one up for a prize
those are pretty
for the
colors.
Gnome Along. Yes. So this is yarn from Marinated Yarns. And it's, you know what? I'm not even sure if I remember which gnome this is for. The Gift of Magi, I think is
Yeah.
Magi, which is...
Probably a Christmassy gnome.
I think it was a Christmassy gnome because the other set that I have is more Christmas colors.
Gift of the Magi is Christmas related.
Okay,
So
yeah. But you can use
But
this
look at
for
those colors. You could use them
you
for
could use it
anything.
anything.
a lovely autumnal gnome or
Yeah.
really any time
Which
of year.
is why I offered up this one instead of the true Christmas one.
Right. Christmas in July. Right.
Christmas in July. So we had a number of folks that entered.
They're so cool. All
I
the
know
little
they're
flowers.
so pretty.
All right, I gotta take
but
my
I've
guy
already
home.
random number generated, and our winner is post number 4, who is Nicole. I'm pretty sure we know Nicole.
We think we know
Nico
who you are.
05478 from
Yes.
Vermont.
That makes me feel like I'm pretty sure I know who it is. There's
So-
lots of Nicoles out there. But I think
Nicole from Vermont,
come in
come in
or send us your address.
because you have won
One. Woohoo!
the gnome, and let's look at her little gnome. It's so cute. Oops, I touched something and it was gonna
Social
make it
media
bigger.
disappeared.
Right. It's cute.
Oh, he's adorable.
There's her cute little gnome. So adorable.
Oh, yeah.
So Nicole,
You're
have
it.
won-
You're the winner.
You've won this fun marinated yarn mini skein kit, which you can use for a gnome or not. Use it for whatever
Use
you
it
want.
For whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
'Cause, yeah,
So congratulations, and thank you
for playing.
for playing and knitting a cute little gnome.
Yes.
And doesn't
And
it
many
just
more.
make your heart happy?
Yeah.
The little gnome. I
Yes,
think
they're
it does. But
adorable.
yeah, we had some really like
This one with the
right?
hat.
Oh yeah, no, they're gorgeous. So check out a thread. I know Imagine Landscapes was running. There's Cal has ended, and
Hopefully you double dip. Maybe you could
you
win there
totally could have double dipped. But like they're so cute. Like, which is why I've been wanting to knit one forever, and I just have not.
I do
not done
too,
that.
and I can't believe I haven't actually. Yeah. No excuses.
Right. So all right. So that's that one. I'm just gonna make a little note because sometimes I go back and I'm like, who won this? Can't remember.
Right.
All right,
Right, everybody.
So then we have the Winter Thaw Top Along
We also have a prize for that.
and I'm gonna let Jen talk about this while I go tee up the thing.
So we decided that clearly the prize needed to have cotton in it because that was the requirement for the top. And so we picked a skein of Coastal Cotton Fine. Well, 2 skeins. One multicolored, which is called Rarawa Beach. Color number 401, which has all these fun colors in it. And we picked a matching one called Wedgwood, which is this lovely bluish, slightly greenish, but mostly blue color. So these 2 skeins will be going to...
They
Ready.
I know. I
okay.
just
Did I talk-
have to like
what-
toggle back and
All
forth
right, I
between.
gotta talk more.
All right, no, I'm ready. All
okay.
right, so it's going to post number 2, which is Maria, and her Ravelry name is Tegan NH.
All right.
And I will
New
show.
Hampshire? Someone from New
Yep.
Hampshire.
Yep.
Maria from New Hampshire.
Maria from New Hampshire, post number
We're making things up.
2.
We don't really know this for a fact.
No, we do know.
Oh, we do. All
'Cause
right.
Here, well, that's what Ravelry says, unless Ravelry's wrong, which it's totally possible. So here's her fun little
is it the Rift tea?
recalibrate.
Oh, recalibrate.
Recalibrate,
Yeah.
cute little recalibrate
Yeah.
tea. That is
Super
gorgeous.
Cute. Yeah.
And so that was the winner chicken dinner.
Congratulations.
So
Marie.
congratulations, Maria. If you want to message myself or Jen your address,
Just kidding.
message me your address, and we will get
I'm just kidding.
these
Either one of us. We'll make sure this gets out to you.
coastal cotton. But you're also in New Hampshire, so if you're out traveling around for Great Northern Yarn Haul,
Just let us know. We'll hold
let
it.
us know. You can come pick it up in the store too. And
Yeah.
what a great excuse to come visit us.
Yeah. Yeah. And look at super
So,
fun. So
Congratulations.
exciting. Congratulations. It's nice giving things away.
Yes, and thank you for
Thanks for playing.
thanks for playing. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Nora Akari that she used for that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. I've
What
seen
fun.
that tea a couple times, and a couple of people have come into the store to pick out yarn for it. So it's another one that's a good scrap buster, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
So it's got a very interesting construction. The way
Yeah, it
it's
looks
knit.
like sideways,
Yeah.
which is like
Yeah, and then
It's
joined
kinda
maybe
fun.
or something.
yeah, super fun. So
Yeah.
congratulations. We will get the Craft in Public along squared away, and we'll deal with that the next time.
Mm-hmm.
There's some fun posts for that one as well. So things that have started or are going to start. The Larch Pet Along has started. So that started June 15th, and that's going to run through the end of August.
Thank goodness.
So
For
that's like a
slow post.
summer one. And so that's using the Larch Ped pattern to make some summer shorty socks.
Laura Nelkin.
Laura Nelkin. So we've linked to all of that in show notes. And then we are also going to starts now because we are already into summer.
3 days in, so
3 days in.
it actually started Friday. If you started your project,
doesn't matter.
It
Whips
doesn't
are
matter.
allowed. We don't care.
but if you started on Friday because it was the first day of summer, that's extra. It's extra nothing, really.
I'm
but
not
it's-
doing any more Excel spreadsheets. There are no extra entries.
No. I just meant like it's very. That would
Yes,
be lovely.
very loosely.
Yes.
So we're calling this our summer travel along. And so it starts now and it's going to run till the end of summer, which is Jen and I had to look it up, is September 22nd.
The autumnal equinox.
September 22nd. So you've got lots of opportunities, but you also have a couple different ways to win prizes for this one. So we are going to set up on Ravelry our standard chatter thread. We're going to set up our standard FO thread. So if you have an FO, you post it in the FO thread. But in the chatter thread, like, show us where you're knitting when you're traveling. And by traveling, it could
It's a
be
very loose description.
I went to the park, or I went here.
I'm
It
on the
does-
bus going to work.
Right. I'm traveling, I'm going somewhere, and I'm knitting. So it's kind of like a continuation of our Craft in Public. But this is just, show us your whips in that chatter thread, and we'll pull a prize or two from the chatter thread too. So we'll pull from both. You don't have to have a finished object, but if you get a finished object, you can have 2 chances to win.
Or maybe a couple finished objects.
Couple finished objects. You can use whips. Like, we don't really care, and I don't care what you're making. Like, just make whatever it is that you work on while you're traveling
in the summer.
in the summer. Just tell us what the pattern is. And,
Particularly this summer.
yeah. So super
last
loosey
summer.
goosey, really fun. Something simple and straightforward. So we hope you can join us this summer for that.
It'll be fun.
It'll
Lots
be
of fun
fun.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not everybody gets a big trip in the summer because lots of people like to travel in the winter or
Yep.
take a big ski vacation or something. But
Yep.
as we said, travel is not necessarily planes, trains, and automobiles, but
Exactly.
little bits. You could be traveling to go see your mom or your
Exactly.
kid. All kinds of choices there.
Totally.
You're picking up your kid from camp. That
Exactly.
counts as travel.
All counts.
Basically leaving your house
if you have left your house,
But you're gonna- even, but, or even
if you
just
have
travel to the
traveled
backyard.
to your backyard,
Right.
see how we roll here?
Yes.
Like
It's
it's
a mind meld here.
right. It just we're there. We're there. So have some fun with it.
Yeah.
Like enjoy
Yeah.
Your summer.
Just
and
post. Basically, it sounds like you have an opportunity to
You
win
just
if you post.
Post. Just post.
That's it.
That's all. That's
Maybe
the rule.
show some yarn and a needle, ideally with something on it.
That's maybe not you sitting on your couch. Though probably you could make an argument that I traveled to my couch and we would let it slide. So just saying,
You'd have to probably tell a little story about
post your stuff
that. Yeah.
and you have a chance to win. That's all.
Yeah.
Super easy.
Mm-hmm.
Super easy.
Yeah.
So I think we've kind of got to wrap up. It's about that time.
Yes. Pretty close.
So thank you for spending some time with us, hanging out.
I hope your weather is less interesting than ours is currently.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see everybody in 2 or 3 weeks. Jen and I have got to figure out what our schedules are doing.
I think it could be 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because if it's not, it will be more like 5.
Okay.
So.
We're going to try our hardest to make
Yes.
it 2
we
weeks.
will see you before I go on vacation.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Or at least record this before I go on
Okay.
vacation.
There you go.
How about that?
That works. Sounds good. So, all right. Thanks
All
for
right.
spending some time with us. Happy crafting.
Happy
Get
summer.
your summer on.
That's right. That's right. Get excited
Unless
about
you're
it.
in the other half of the equator, and then happy winter.
Right. And you can still participate.
You can
in
still
our-
participate, just
Right.
whatever you're doing during that time of the year.
Right. Not that we're doing extra points, but we might do an extra point for if you're posting with the winter. scene in the
Right?
background.
Because it's winter where you are.
Right.
It's totally
Yeah.
possible. So,
Right.
all
I guess we
right.
should probably call it the June, July, August,
No,
September
it's a summer
of
travel along.
2024.
It's summer where we are, so
Right.
that's what we're going with. We get it if it's not summer where you are, and if it's not, still post.
Right.
We're calling it summer because it's summer here.
Yeah.
So that's all.
That's the way it is.
But anyway, hope you have a good summer or winter if you're where you are is winter.
Mhm.
If you create, I'm looking at you from Australia. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, and we'll see all of you soon.
All right.
Okay.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah.
Get going, and we will focus.
And I will
Instead of being
update my status on the sweater and call it
Oh.
finished.
over. Okay, so I'm where I need to be for that.
Of course, I finished it like 8 months ago. I don't remember when I
Right.
finished it. But we'll just call it today because no one cares, myself included.
Right? Totally. Oh, did we look up how much that eco cotton is?
No, but we can right now. Okay. Where's the shop button? There we go.
So has it been 3 weeks since we've done this?
I think so because I was gone last weekend.
So it's been a interesting 3 weeks for sure.
Yeah.
Weather-wise and otherwise, and I think it's supposed to be pretty wild this afternoon with weather. I've seen like tornado warnings for this area,
Really?
and like a little further south is even higher.
I was
tornado
excited that the
warnings.
sun came back out again.
Oh no, it's supposed to be really nasty this afternoon.
$12.99.
$12.99.
Yeah.
Okay. Like severe thunderstorms. Like there's like a 10% chance of a tornado, like in the Rutland,
great.
New Hampshire area.
Awesome.
Yeah, and they keep like up like a day or so. Like yesterday morning, it was like 4 to 5%, and then by like the evening, it was like 8 to 10%. Like it just keeps like going up for really bad storms. So
Yeah.
or the tornado part of the really bad storms. I think we're supposed to get like bad thunderstorms, like hail, like all kinds of.
Although luckily they said that on Thursday maybe, and Wednesday or Thursday.
It hailed in places.
No, it didn't. I did, yeah, I didn't notice. I was excited that it did not hail where I was. It was a crazy thunderstorm where I was
There
in
was
Williston. But
so
it was,
much rain. People's cars were totally flooded.
our upstairs, now that we're up a floor and we have like windows all the way around our office now, we can see the storm rolling in from the south. It was intense. Yeah. We should have probably been doing work, but a lot of us were standing at the window watching these humongous black clouds come
I was
flying
trying
over.
to get in and out of the Market 32 parking lot, which totally flooded.
Yeah.
The storm drain just couldn't.
Yeah,
keep
it was
up
a
with
lot of
it.
water. Super.
There were at least a couple of places in Burlington in that gully zone,
Yeah.
south of Church Street, that vehicles got flooded. So Burlington's stormwater and sewer are combined. So when the storm drains overflow, it's not just runoff water. So
I will say this, at least the storm on Thursday broke the 90 to 100 degree heat that we have been having, because that combined with 8,000% humidity was
gross.
Very unpleasant for
now
3
it's
days.
just 70 and super humid and gross.
Yeah. So like zero knitting this week. I came here on Wednesday evening for knit group, so that's the only knitting I did the entire week.
It's so humid. I have a paper pattern in my bag and it's damp. Like it was damp. Like that's...
Yeah. I did laundry yesterday and, all the linen and cotton things that I hang to dry or whatever. Not outdoors, but even just on the thing in the house. It was just like, I came back down this morning and I was like,
It's still damp.
Not really
dry.
at all dry. Except for where the fan was blowing on.
It's gross.
Yeah, my poor little Kit Kat has been very under the weather he was fine yesterday morning, like his normal happy self, and then like mid-morning, he just like got up off the couch, crouched on the living room floor for a while, and then went upstairs and hid, and I was like, oh golly, what's happening?
No.
And he just laid on the bathroom floor for like hours.
Do you think he just had it with the weather?
No,
he's
I
sick?
think he's sick, but by bedtime, he came back downstairs. He was up there for hours, like from like mid-morning till like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Oh.
He hasn't eaten. And so he came downstairs at that point and got up on the couch with me. So that was an improvement. Of course, I was just about ready to go upstairs to go to bed. So I was like, I guess I'll stay up for a little while longer because,
Yeah.
And then he did get up on the bed with me last night finally. And he seems like he's coming back to himself this morning.
Is he drinking water?
He is drinking water. He's not eating at all.
I mean, they can go longer without food, but if they're not drinking, like they get dehydrated so fast because they're so tiny.
Yeah. No, I'll see what it looks like this afternoon. So, because he does seem better this morning, and he was, reacting to me instead of just with his back to me. Yeah. Well, he had his back to me like for a lot of it. He wasn't upset about, like I picked him up to put him on the bed last night, and he didn't seem upset about it, but he got back down again. And then, anyway, so we'll see. It's not exciting. Out of nowhere, like literally perfectly fine yesterday morning, bouncing around like his normal self. And I feel like he ate something, or I don't know what, ate a bug on the porch or something.
I mean, I can't remember if it was before we did the last episode or after, but our dog spent the night at Bev's. It
was before.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like,
yeah,
Bev's is the emergency vet here.
Yeah.
It's like,
I may be there tonight. We'll see.
Great fun.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah. I think, I'm going to see how it goes. And if he's still not, I have to go to Cleveland this week again. So I just hate leaving when he's not.
Oh, yeah, when he's not. Things are not going well.
So hopefully when I get home, he'll be bouncing back. But yeah, then it's one of those things where you're like overthinking everything and like.
Right.
He didn't eat his treats last night, that for sure. He hadn't eaten anything all day, so. I think he ate a little bit in the morning actually, but then he didn't eat his wet food, and anyway, we shall see. Hopefully by the time this posts, he'll just be bouncing around like he normally is.
Okay. Good. We have to give people an update like in the comments or something so they know. Or on Instagram. They'll be like, okay, that was weird, but all right, your cat's great, fine.
It's just weird when they go from like there's no like line of symptoms. It's just
Right,
like,
just like
I'm perfectly
boom.
fine and I'm not fine. Like, it was a weird.
Yeah, like our dog was fine, and then she was like throwing up and foaming at the mouth. Like it was just like
Yeah.
boom.
Yeah.
Like, just
Yeah. Yeah. Something.
yeah, super fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, this weather's crazy. I think it's supposed to be slightly cooler this week again, like 70s, 80s. Though it looked like Wednesday was maybe going to be like mid to upper 80s.
Yeah.
Which is fine unless the humidity is like 90%
Yeah.
or whatever stupid. It's
Honestly,
been.
even Thursday evening when I came out of the office at like 6 or something, I don't know what time it was, but anyway, that big storm had rolled through, and I was like, oh my God, it's just, the temperature dropped
No,
30 degrees.
Yeah, it was like
I mean,
I
it was
had
in
to
the
go
low 70s.
into Burlington.
Yeah.
And it was like my car registered like 97, 98. So that was like air temperature. That's not even like with the humidity.
Yeah.
So like 97, 98. And then when that storm rolled through, it was like 72. And I was just like,
Yeah, either Tuesday or Wednesday night, I got in the car. It does sit in the sun in the parking lot, but I got in the car and it was 109.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
yeah.
The air temperature, I don't think was that high. I think it
No.
was because it dropped 10 degrees, but it was still in the 90s, high
Well,
90s.
what was weird is when I got in my car said it was like 94.
Yeah.
And then as I started driving, like
Yeah.
the temperature actually went up. And I was
Yeah.
like, what is even happening here?
Yeah.
Usually it's the opposite
Yeah,
because
it
it's been
drops.
sitting in the sun. It drops.
Yeah.
Got hotter driving. So
Yeah.
weird.
Well, in the midst of our little 3-week break, I did go to Chicago for 5 days, I guess.
Okay.
My sister came with me for my meeting, which was fun. She did all sorts of cultural things, and I did all sorts of
Awesome.
meetings. But we had one day, the first day, we left early in the morning, and we had the whole day before I had to do something that evening. But it was the precursor to the hot weather coming here.
It
So
was
it
hot
was
and nasty there.
It was
Yeah.
very where the hotel we were on is near the big park along the lake,
Yeah.
and so it was lovely. But it was we didn't have a room until like mid-afternoon the first day, which is fine. We got there at like 10,
Yeah.
so we left our stuff and went and had breakfast, and then we wandered around. And it was on Wednesdays. A lot of the museums are closed, so we had planned to be like, oh, we're going to go to the Art Institute and do all this fun indoor stuff that is air conditioned. But no.
Nope.
We walked over to the planetarium and the aquarium thinking, well, we'll go. And one of our events was at the Field Museum, so we were saving that for another day. And anyway, it was fine, but it was warm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it cooled off a little bit in the middle of it, but then it was pretty hot the whole time we were there. So
Yeah. And
But
then
it was fun.
and then you came back here and it followed you. So
yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
fun.
It was, well, I was indoors most of the time, in all honesty, but Les was quite toasty.
Yeah.
It was fun though. I've been to Chicago several times, so it was nice to do some other things. So we did go to the Art Institute on Saturday afternoon when I had a break again.
Awesome.
The George O'Keeffe
yep.
exhibition had just opened, so that was why we wanted to go. And the museum itself is amazing. It's one of those museums where you're sort of wandering like through, after we looked at the George O'Keeffe stuff, we're wandering through the Impressionist sort of section, and like you walk around a corner and there's all of Monet's haystacks, and then you walk around another corner and then it's just like amazing masterpiece after
Right.
amazing. They
It's
have
like
an
going
amazing
to like
collection.
the Louvre or going
Yeah,
to
it was-
the British Museum of Art or
No,
something like that.
part of it's like, oh, this painting is here.
right.
Oh, and this painting is here. Oh,
Yeah.
and this painting is here. American
Right.
Gothic. We were
Right. Right.
just like every corner you walked around. The why I'm not remembering his name, but the big bank of Lautrec, I think, his big, huge painting of the Bank of the Sun. It's
Well, that's the thing.
pretty
Like
impressive.
you see some of those paintings in like art books or whatever, but they don't give you a
postcards,
sense of
mouse pads, like
right.
all the.
But you don't get
museum.
a sense of
Yeah.
scale.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember walking through the Louvre, and you'd like come around a corner
Yeah.
a corner, and it's like a 2-story building painting of something that you thought was maybe like this big, and
Yeah.
it's enormous. It's not even life size. It's like bigger than life size.
Right. Yeah.
And
And then you walk around a corner and you see the
just
Mona
think,
Lisa,
oh,
which
and
is
it's
like
this big. Right. Like it's just kind of that is
Yeah.
mind blowing because
Yeah.
the scale of some of those things you just
And to
don't-
see them displayed the way they should
Yeah.
be displayed is
Yeah.
always,
Yeah.
yeah, it was nice. It was a nice
Yeah.
afternoon.
Fun.
So, yeah.
Fun.
And, yeah, it was a good set of meetings. So, check that off. Now I'm like,
Nice.
this little trip to Cleveland and then focused on getting to vacation in July.
Okay. I'm
Just a couple weeks away.
just here.
Yeah, well, you've got
Baseball and
Yeah,
all the things.
yeah.
Though it was so hot, stuff got canceled.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised. You can only hydrate so much.
Right. Well, we
It's-
can't really have like kids passing out on the field
Or parents.
or parents for that
Passing out on
matter.
the
Never mind
sidelines.
the kids. Like that's too hot to be sitting on the sidelines.
Right.
watching
It's
baseball.
clearly too hot to be running around the field.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, lots of baseball in my future and track and all kinds of stuff. So
Good
All-
summertime fun. Now
all
that it's
the
actually summer,
sports
technically.
things.
And they're out of school. And
School's done. Camps start next week, so we get a little more of a routine, which
Yeah.
is always nice.
yeah, the weeks in between, like,
I mean,
different.
the June one's fine. It's only usually a week long. August,
Yeah.
like the entire month of August, there's like nothing, which is why we tend to go away in August.
Yeah.
Because there's like no camps, nothing.
Yeah.
So makes
Yeah.
sense to do
Yeah.
vacation then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also funny, like, having vacation in July is nice because it's sort of in the middle of the summer, but then you come back and other people go on vacation
Everybody's
in
gone in
August, and
August.
you're like,
Where's everybody?
why am I not on vacation? Because you, as usual, you come back from vacation and you immediately forget that you've had one and you're just ready to
Yeah.
like go again because people are doing all the fun stuff.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
But
So anyway.
we shall see.
So we'll try to, get some episodes in between Jen's time away and then
I think it'll be
I'm
fine,
away in
actually.
August and
Yeah.
we'll just
Yeah.
figure it out. So if
Yeah.
there's a longer delay, that's what's happening. We just haven't been able to connect because of those things. But
Yeah.
we'll do our best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's good that it's summer, although,
Yeah.
the in-between weather, I would prefer the in-between weather, not the
I mean,
extremes. But-
right. I think it's just this is going to be the new normal for us. I feel like so. I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's fine.
I guess here we are, crazy weather.
Yeah.
So
What's new?
what is new? I'd prefer it without all the humidity, but that's fine.
Yes,
That's
honestly.
constant. That was
Like
a
today with the
surprise.
breeze, I was like, well, when I first left the house, it had just finished raining.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, golly, this is just everything is slippery, and it rained all day
Well,
yesterday, so it's just
And it is way worse here. Like that's what surprised me when I moved to Vermont. I was not prepared for the level of just normal humidity in the
Yeah.
summer. Like I grew up out west. It is dry there in the summer. People talk about dry heat, like that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like give me 90, 100 degree dry heat, totally fine. That's normal and doable. 80 in humidity and like I want to die.
it's really
So,
miserable.
It's like
Yeah.
I can't. I mean I've been here over 20 years and I still can't. I'm not fully acclimatized to
It's
the
gotten worse. also.
humidity. Well, that too. But like I remember when I first moved here the first summer, I was sitting on my couch and I think I was talking to my parents and I was like, I have sweat beads on my arm. I'm not even moving. I'm just
Yeah.
sitting here and I'm sweating.
Yeah.
Visible sweat. Like I
Yeah.
was not prepared for
Yeah.
this type of weather
Yeah.
at all.
It's not. Yeah.
It was baffling to me.
Yeah. And annoying. Yeah.
Totally foreign.
But then when the wind picks up a little bit and the
Yeah.
humidity blows away, then it's amazing.
I know. But I'm like,
That's
why
what
is
I
my
like.
paper wet? Why is
Everything's-
thing
yeah.
damp? Like, why does stuff not dry? Like, just- I was used to that in the winter because out there it's
Oh,
very
yeah.
damp and lots of humidity in the air in the winter. So I was used to it in terms of cold, but I much prefer
Yeah.
the dry cold. Apparently, I prefer dry weather. Dry cold, dry
Yes,
heat.
I don't like being
Be
damp.
happy. Apparently, I need to
Yeah.
live in the desert. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to at least live someplace where it's 70 to 85 and not humid.
Yeah,
And that place doesn't really exist.
doesn't really exist. I don't think.
No.
No,
San Diego, maybe. But
maybe. Yeah,
even there, they've been having weird weather.
weird weather,
so-
fires, and other things. So,
Yes, and they have worse things out there. So
yeah.
it's all
Anyway,
relative.
All right. Well, should we get a little show on the road
We
here?
should.
Probably.
Yes,
Okay.
because it's Sunday.
Yep.
All right.